Alright, people. Let's try this again. You're better than this, people. Start acting like it.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty.
This video is brought to you by CyberGameway, with an emphasis on exposing streamers of all types, as well as exploring business relationships with partnered websites and service providers. CyberGameway is the place you want to be for streaming gamers who want that sub bump. To apply for membership or sponsorship, head over to cybergameway.com.
Alright, so with all the free time we have with this quarantine lately, it might seem to some of you like a great time to get into streaming. Not a bad idea. I'm doing it. A lot of people on CyberGameway are doing it. It's a great way to have fun. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to maybe make some money. Now, this is where I come in. I've been a musician for most of my adult life. Ever since the military, been doing it, playing on stages, touring the nation, playing in bands, recording my own stuff. And one of the things I learned very quickly as a musician is that you have to act the part in order for people to believe that you're playing the part. This means a lot of things, not the least of which is presenting yourself in a professional manner. But using the things that I've learned as a musician, I can tell you how to make yourself a great streamer, because let's just be clear, it's very easy to do it badly. Anytime, sweetie. What this means is a bunch of things. One, you have to present yourself in a professional manner. So if you want to get into streaming, let me help. Using things that I've learned as a musician, we can apply them very easily to streaming, because the two are not all that dissimilar. You have to... Number one, get a webcam. Very simple. They're cheap as hell these days. Nobody wants to watch a video game being played. They want to watch someone playing a video game. It all goes in part and parcel with the intimacy a fan gains from knowing their rock star. They want to see you playing. They want to see you performing. And for that, you need a webcam. Very simple. You can get a 1080p Logitech webcam for about 20 bucks anywhere on Facebook, eBay, blah, 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 blah. They're very cheap. You don't need a great webcam, but people do want to see you. And it will up your game tenfold. Because when you know you're being watched, you will engage. I promise you that. Presentation. Along with getting a webcam, you have got to act the part. This doesn't mean leaning forward in your chair, staring at the screen. You have got to perform. It may not seem like streaming is a performing art, but it is. I promise you that. You have got to engage your audience. You have got to bring them in, and that means having some panache. It's not hard. Even if you're an introvert, I'm an introvert. I do not like going in front of public people, but when you get on stage, you put on a mask. I actually call it putting on the band coat. And that means when you get on stage, you become someone else. You can easily do this as a streamer. Yes, people want to get to know you, but they also want to get to know the performer. And you cannot retain an audience if you're boring. You can't do it. Trust me. And this means a lot of things, not the least of which is, presenting yourself in a professional manner. This means one thing, really simple: be clean. If you have, a wrinkly shirt, this is not wrinkly. If you have a wrinkly shirt and a dirty ass room and, scraggly ass beard, this especially applies to male. Because as males, it's going to be twice as hard for you to get an audience as it is for a female. Because females, gamer girls on Twitch and Mixer rule the world. If you're a girl and you're a gamer and you have a webcam, people are going to watch you. Doesn't matter if you're playing Animal Crossing or Battletech. People are going to watch women a hell of a lot more than they watch men. So this is definitely applying to men. If you're a guy and you're streaming wearing a dirty sweatshirt, got your beard all scraggly, you know, your room or your office is a mess, nobody's going to watch you. Nobody's going to watch you because you do not present yourself in a professional manner. Look at this. All I'm doing is sitting in my office. You have got to act the part because nobody wants to watch someone who looks like they live in their mom's basement. They don't. They do not. You can be a frumpy dude, but as long as you're clean cut and you're wearing cool clothes and you've got a clean fucking area, people will watch you. It's not hard because you have to present yourself in a professional manner. If you want to build a brand on Twitch or Mixer or YouTube, you have got to first build the brand. And so that means you have to be clean. You have to have a clean environment at all times. Simple as that. Do the work and the people will come. The next thing about this is along with keeping your area clean and presenting yourself in a professional manner, if you're streaming, one of the things that will easily set you apart is graphics. Not hard. Get an insignia. An insignia, by the way, is not a logo. An insignia is a symbol. Get an insignia. Get a logo. That's, you know, your streamer name. Get an overlay. Get a waiting screen. Get a logged off screen. This is stuff that you can do to set yourself apart. It's not hard. You're not putting the work into it unless you know how to video edit. And it's not very expensive these days. You just got to know where to look. And while we're on the subject, CyberGameway does all this. Ta-da! Presenting a brand will help you build the brand. There you go. And as an afterthought, in your room or in your office or wherever you are streaming, do yourself a favor and spruce it up. It's not difficult. Well, this was difficult. Trust me, it took the better part of a month. But spruce it up. Give your audience something to look at while they're not looking at you all the time. Not hard. Put up a poster or something in a frame. You know, whatever. Put some stuff on your desk, you know, something for people to look at. This goes along with adding to the environment. You want to add to the environment, but don't make it distractive. I say that knowing what's behind me. Yes, I know. Fuck off. The big thing about this is make your environment pleasing to the eye. Not difficult. It doesn't, if you want to put the time in, paint your walls something other than beige. Beige is boring. Do not have a boring room. That's the core of the argument. Spruce it up a little bit. Put something on your desk. You know, put up a poster in a frame, and make your fucking beds. Seriously, people. You're not 12. Make your bed. But again, the core of the argument is make your environment pleasing for people to watch. You cannot build a brand unless, again, you look the part. And if you look like you don't give a shit, people are not going to give a shit about you. Simple as that. Along with sprucing up your environment, you also want to light your environment. Even with the website I work with, there are plenty of people, and this is very easy to do wrong. There are plenty of people who, you know, sit in a dimly lit room with their webcams on and play their video games. Guess what? No one gives a shit about that. Yeah, great. You have great RGB, but no one can see you. You want people looking at you. You want people looking at your ugly ass playing video games. Why? Because you're presenting a brand. And all of this, and I mean it, all of this is about branding. It's about everything. Everything in this is about how you look and how you sound. And it's mostly about how you look. It's the same with music, it's the same with strippers, it's the same with actors, and it is very, very true with streamers, because streaming is a very powerful performing art now. So you gotta look the part. Light your room up. Yes, put up some RGB, great, but let's see your ass. We wanna see your face. And by the way, photographer's rule, been a photographer most of my adult life too, if you have all that space above your head, that's bad. It's called framing, people. And if you do it badly, again, no one's gonna watch you. Because they don't want to look at your bedroom, or at least not only your bedroom, they want to see you. And if you're leaning down and you got all this space above your head, that's bad. Aim the webcam at your fucking face. Not hard! If you got it on top of your monitor, aim it at your face. If you've got it over here on your thingy, aim it at your face. If you got it on the fucking ceiling, first of all, okay, that's a bad location, but aim it at your fucking face. Not difficult. People want to see you, and if they can't see you, they won't watch your stream. Simple as that. And this is a bit tougher. You know, it goes along with lighting and all that other stuff. Equipment. Now, that's a Rode NTK. It's a badass studio microphone, and I use it for streaming. Overkill a little bit. But, you know, it's what I've got. It's a really, really good microphone. Now, microphones are more important than webcams because people will see your environment with a 5-year-old 1080p webcam, but they have to hear you. So, my tip for this is if you're using a gaming headset to talk to your stream, stop that. You're better than that. Your gaming headset microphone is always going to sound like crap when compared to something like a $300 Rode microphone. Now, I realize that a Rode NTK is a bit, kind of tough. So, go with the standard. A Shure SM7B is not all that difficult to get. And since you got that check in the mail, do the work. You've got $1,200 to play with, spend it wisely. Get yourself a microphone, get yourself a digital audio interface worth of shit. And while we're on the subject, get yourself some pro audio equipment. Every single big tech tuber you know, Markiplier, Jay's 2 Cents, Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tapman, all these guys did one thing right, if not everything. All these guys did one thing right. They went to Guitar Center and got some shit. Go get some shit because people will like that. Make yourself sound like $1 million and people will love that. So get yourself, the rig that I use is a Line 6 Pod HD Pro X, a BBE 882i Sonic Maximizer, a Focusrite Scarlett, and a Rode NTK. All you need is something to make you sound good. And let me just say right now, if you have a Blue Yeti or any USB microphone, you sound like shit. Stop that. Any USB microphone you have is going to sound exponentially worse than an actual microphone. USB microphones are great for podcasts, and that's about it. Because people will put in the work afterwards to put into some post-production to make them sound good. But you can't do that when you're live streaming. You have to sound good right out the door. So do the work. Don't get a USB microphone. Get a proper microphone. Any USB microphone you get is going to compress the hell out of your sound. It's the difference between getting a CD and downloading a dinky MP3. CDs are always going to sound better. Vinyls are always going to sound better than CDs. It's that big a difference. It is really, really big a difference. If you've ever played an MP3 and then played the CD that you actually got it from, the CD is always louder, it's always clearer, and the signal is better because it's lossless sound. And if you are using a USB microphone, you are compressing the hell out of it like an MP3. Stop that. Return it to Best Buy. Go get yourself a Shure microphone. You'll be good to go. I fucking promise you that. Let's move on. Here's another one. There's a streamer that is kind of polarizing. I happen to like that kind of thing. He's a really, really good tech tuber. I'm not going to name him, but he is very polarizing, not only on his Twitter, on his and on his Twitch streams, because people, and I can totally identify this. People of a certain ilk tend to be kind of abrasive. if you want to build a brand, okay, first of all, this guy's huge, so he doesn't really have to worry about that. But if you want to build a brand, you've got to be polite. And what this also means is not only, not yelling at your fucking fans, but you have to keep watch on your stream. If you don't have 2 monitors, use your phone. Simple. Or if you've got a tablet or a laptop or something, you can use that simply to monitor your stream. You want to keep watch on what your fans are saying, because they want to feel engaged. I've ran into this every single time I would play a show. Fans want to talk to their musicians. Fans want to talk to their streamers. It goes along with that intimacy that you develop with your fans. Fans want to have a connection with you. So make sure you're at least at some point, every once in a while monitoring what's going on in your stream. And, if you're not typing, at least, talk to the commenters, talk to the watchers. One more thing, know what you're fucking talking about. It's not difficult. If you're talking, and I got into this yesterday with somebody, we were talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, because, right now that is the standard for if you have a supercomputer, that's the game. But I got into this with somebody because, some dumbass was selling a computer on Facebook, asking $1,200 for a $900 computer. And my argument was, he was probably asking $1,200 because he knew he could get $900 for it. And then he brought up Red Dead Redemption 2 and said a whole bunch of shit that he didn't know about. And I was like, dude, you can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on an i5 2500 with a 2 gigabyte graphics card. And you know what? He said I was wrong. And you know what? I wasn't. Now, this isn't something you're going to run into regularly when you're streaming, but just in case it does, know what you're fucking talking about. It's not difficult. You've got Google right there. And just, if you're playing a game, know certain details about it. If you are talking to someone about some other stuff, know certain details about it. This goes along, this goes a long way towards engaging your fans, because they want to know that you know. The last thing I'm going to say, and you have seen me doing this whole time, know how to perform. It's not difficult. It might seem like this, and again, I'm an introvert like you. But you put on the cool coat, and people will watch you. Get into it. Yell at your screen. Whatever. Get into the game, and people will get into you. I guarantee it. Have some persona. Have some style. Have some panache, and people will love you. And so will Twitch and Mixer and YouTube. And those subs will rise and the fans will come. So, let's just put all of this into one core argument. If you want to stream, do it right, because it's very easy to do badly. And following these tricks, you will do it very, very well. But you got to pay attention to what's going on. Because if you forget any one of these things, like say, I don't know, not cleaning your room, people will notice right away. Now, I understand that it's difficult at some point to maintain this professionalism, but it is paramount. I promise you that if you maintain that professional attitude and professional manner, people will love you, and the fans will come. The fans will come in droves. I know, because they did for me. This all seems kind of scripted, but f*** it. I promise you, if you do what I say, if you present yourself in a professional manner, you do the work, people will watch you. I promise. I'm Hobbs, and I'm out.